I'm thinking about what the kinds of frameworks that I'm working with when I'm thinking about the things that I'm thinking about. And broadly speaking, they have three kind of elements to them. Firstly, I'm interested in the concept of empirical objective knowledge. I have a great deal of respect for science and empiricism. I think it's our best, the best strategy so far devised for constructing something we might call interpersonal knowledge or shared knowledge, objective knowledge. And I think, in fact, that if the word objective knowledge means anything, it means the results of empirical knowledge gathering processes. So I have an interest in that concept. I also have an interest in phenomenology and the kind of rigorous acknowledging of one's own location in the world and how the body as a sensory motor system embedded within an environment gathers knowledge from the world, which is absolutely of that subjective phenomenological position, and the kind of knowledge constructs that emerge from that. And thirdly, the third lobe of this really comes out of the first two, which is to do with the scientific objective understanding of the phenomenological position, which I guess is represented in things like consciousness studies, cognitive linguistics, experiential cognition, neurophilosophy, those kinds of areas which try to find objective ways to look at the subjective position. And I guess taken together, those things form the framework for a lot of the understandings that I'm trying to kick around with. What I'm thinking of in terms of, because I tend to think in terms of kind of like visual symbols and maps for this stuff. When I think about it, what I'm considering is a symbol that I've used before and repurposed in a number of different ways, which is this symbol of a circle with a dot in the centre. A circle with a dot, which I know has got kind of hermetic and mystical trappings associated with it, but I'm thinking of it in terms of just a kind of graph or a schematic for that organisation of objective empiricism, subjective phenomenological position, and the objective analysis of phenomenological subjectivity. And I'd say it's like a circle with a dot. And I kind of imagine it as I imagine a big piece of paper with a large circle drawn on it, and then a dot at the centre, with the dot at the centre representing the phenomenological subjective position, the periphery of the circle representing, for me at least, an aspiration towards empirical objectivity, and then a particular move you have to make with that diagram in order to reconsider what an objective understanding of phenomenological subjectivity might consist of. So when I'm thinking about the dot at the centre of the circle as representative of subjectivity, I'm kind of imagining myself or a person standing at the centre of that circle, like I'm standing at the centre of my experience right now. If I try to enter, to include an object of knowledge in that, a knowledge artifact, or some kind of knowing experience in that diagram, I can imagine it as like taking an object and plonking it down somewhere in the circle, and then imagining myself standing at that axial point in the centre, looking out at the object. Some things follow from that subjective position. Firstly, if I'm not pointed in the right direction, I can't see the object at all. It's in the darkness. Secondly, I can only see the part of the object which is directly facing me. I won't be able to see the sides and the back. Thirdly, if the object is very close to me, I might not be able to see its top or its bottom. I might not be able to see all of it. Also, if it's very close to me, I might start to feel a bit intimidated by it. It might loom in my presence, rather. It might press up against me in an uncomfortable way. It might even start to feel like it's penetrating me. I don't think I'd want that. So those things seem to be following from that. On the other hand, if the object is too far away, it starts to approach the kind of the horizon which the circle represents from my central axial position. And if it's too close to the horizon, the details are lost. It's starts to merge visually with the other objects which are close to the horizon. They may even disappear beyond the perimeter of my experience entirely. So I have those things going on. And also, if there are other objects in the space, that object might be occluded. So that's kind of how I'm imagining how knowledge functions phenomenologically. It situates the knowledge, really. It situates my position in relation to the knowledge in a very particular way. There's another dog coming along the path here, so I'm going to have to come back to this.